Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something we've literally all felt at some point, but we're going to look at it through a totally unexpected lens: the hard evolutionary neurobiology of loneliness. By the end of our time together, you're going to see this emotion not as a weakness, but as an absolutely brilliant biological mechanism. We're going to look straight at the hard science of why our brains are actively wired to feel this way, and how understanding that wiring is, for sure, the absolute key to feeling better. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever found yourself standing right in the middle of a packed city street, surrounded by hundreds of people rushing past you, and yet you felt completely isolated? Or maybe you've been sitting at a really busy party, totally enveloped by laughter and conversation, but you felt entirely invisible. It is just one of the most frustrating paradoxes of the human experience. You're physically surrounded by others, yet emotionally it feels like you're stranded on an island. We all know the name for that feeling. It's loneliness. But to truly wrap our heads around it, we first have to shatter a really common misconception. See, here's the thing. Loneliness isn't simply being alone. There is a stark, measurable biological contrast between chosen solitude, like enjoying a quiet sunrise on a mountain or reading a great book in the park, and the painful emotional disconnection of loneliness. You can literally be forcing a smile in a room full of your friends, yet feel totally invisible and disconnected from the whole group. Loneliness isn't about your physical proximity to other humans at all. It's actually about a highly specific response happening deep inside your nervous system. Which brings us to the actual neurobiology of it all. We so often treat loneliness like it's a personal failing, right? Like it's a sign that we're somehow broken. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Loneliness is actually one of the oldest biological warning systems in human history. Think about it like this. Just as your stomach rumbles to signal hunger or your mouth gets dry to tell you you're thirsty, loneliness is just your brain's built-in alarm system. It's flashing a bright red signal, basically demanding that you reconnect. It is a brilliant, deeply ingrained survival instinct. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why we have that alarm system in the first place. Let's do a quick time jump. 10,000 years ago, humans evolved to survive together. In prehistoric tribes, you hunted together, you shared food. If you got separated from your tribe and found yourself alone in a dark forest, it wasn't just scary, it meant almost certain death. Without your people to help spot predators, your chances of survival completely plummeted. So evolution powerfully rewarded the humans who stayed connected. Fast forward a bit to 100 years ago, and we moved into these modern cities, suddenly living completely surrounded by strangers. And now, present day, the digital age. We're hyper-connected by glowing screens, but totally lacking in physical presence. That incredibly rapid shift on our evolutionary timeline leads us directly to a fascinating modern mystery. Can technology actually make us feel more alone? I mean, today, our world has changed so much faster than our ancient brains could ever possibly adapt to. We've got smartphones, chat bubbles, video calls, notifications pinging every single second. Technically speaking, we possess the highest level of connection at any point in human history. Yet millions of people sitting alone in their apartments, illuminated by nothing but the glow of their phones, report that they have literally never felt lonelier. We have maximum technical connection, but unprecedented human isolation. So what exactly is going so wrong in this digital age? Well, the massive evolutionary trap we fall into lies in comparison. Our brains are hardwired to constantly gauge our standing in the tribe. Again, that was essential for our ancient survival. But today, social media presents this flawless, impossible illusion. We see everyone's glamorous highlight reels, the perfect vacations, the luxury lifestyles, the smiling parties. But come on, that's not real life. When your brain endlessly compares your everyday reality, those behind-the-scenes, ordinary moments where you're just sitting alone scrolling on the couch, to everyone else's curated best moments, it creates a huge disconnect. You start to feel like everyone else is climbing this massive staircase of success and connection, and you're just standing still at the bottom, falling completely behind. So the crucial point is that this illusion isn't just making us sad, it is physically altering our biology. When that heavy feeling of loneliness hangs around for too long, it takes a really harsh toll on both your mind and your body. That symptom of heightened stress, that's biologically caused by increased cortisol just flooding your bloodstream. Your heart beats faster, your body is quite literally on edge. It's reacting exactly as if you were that ancient human separated from the tribe in a dark forest. Over time, this disrupted nervous system sabotages your sleep, it ruins your focus at work, and it basically traps your body in a state of constant biological emergency. But hey, the good news is we absolutely can turn that alarm off. To do that, though, we have to give the brain what it's actually searching for. Because let me tell you, it doesn't crave hundreds of superficial likes, heart icons, or distant followers. Those fade away the second you close the app. What the brain actually craves is genuine human connection. It wants the feeling of being truly understood. When you sit down and have a meaningful, deep conversation with someone who really gets you, your brain does something amazing. It releases oxytocin. That's the neurochemical that makes you feel deeply safe. And dopamine, which provides a profound sense of reward. This specific chemical combo reduces your stress meter instantly. So let's move to the solution and see how this all builds into a cohesive, actionable cure. It's not about forcing yourself to be surrounded by a huge crowd at a busy shopping mall. Understanding this brain chemistry means realizing you just need to prioritize quality over quantity. A single meaningful conversation is infinitely more powerful than 1,000 online notifications. From there, simple acts of kindness, like just helping a neighbor with their groceries or offering a warm, genuine smile to a stranger, those actions actively strengthen the very neural connections our brains are built for. And finally, just taking the initiative to reach out and send the first message, that bridges the gap completely.
And seriously, if you take nothing else away from this explainer today, I want you to remember this one number. 1. You do not need hundreds of friends to cure loneliness. You don't have to be the life of the party. Just one meaningful conversation, one small act of kindness, one genuine friendship. That is literally all it takes to trigger the brain's connection chemicals, to release that oxytocin and dopamine, and to completely turn your day around. Quality matters so much more than quantity here.
Because chances are, if you're feeling this way, you are so far from alone in that feeling. Honestly, if we could light up a globe with a glowing dot for every single person feeling isolated right now, the entire Earth would be brilliantly covered in light. Millions of people around the world sit quietly by a window on a rainy evening, wondering why they feel so disconnected. If you feel this way, please hear this loud and clear. You are not broken. Loneliness is absolutely not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is simply an ancient, beautifully designed reminder that your biology is working exactly the way it should, nudging you to reach out and reconnect. As the research perfectly notes, you are not meant to face life alone. We're stronger together. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Who is the one person you're going to send that first message to today?